Sue Daly, and I want to introduce you to some of our new shapes. Now, some of you may know Sue Cody from New South Wales. She's a fabulous designer and has been designing for many, many years. She contacted me about doing some little clover shapes for her. So we did that, and she's made the most beautiful quilt with it. And if you hop onto her website or into Facebook, you'll be able to see what she's doing. I just want to show you how they go together though, because there's sometimes people aren't quite sure how these are going to work. So I'm going to show you how to cut them out, I'm going to show you how to glue them, and I'm going to show you actually where to sew them, because I've seen a few different things happening out there, and I'm not sure whether people are not sure how to sew them together or whether they're supposed to be sewn together. So I'll show you what they were meant to do, and then you can do with them whatever you like. Okay, so first of all, let me show you what sizes we have. So we have a 1.5 inch, which is here in the associated template. We have the 2 inch, which is here in the associated template. And then we have a 2.5 inch clover rosette here. So 3 different sizes. Now, sometimes I've seen them sewn and they're just glued, the fabric's glued over your paper and then positioned so that the clover looks like that. And that's fine, you can do that with it. However, the way they were designed was so that we could join these little sides about 1/2 inch up the side, so they actually form a clover shape. So I've prepared some of these earlier, and I'm fussy cutting from this fabric here. So I've cut 2, I've cut a 3rd one. Because I'm fussy cutting, I have put a stick-it, which is a little round double-sided sticky dot, onto the back of my template, and when I've cut, it sticks on there, so then I can line my fabric repeat, my pattern repeat up with the original one, and that does away with any error in fussy cutting. So you can just line that up there. And this is a curved shape, so I normally work with a 28mm rotary cutter and my rotating mat. So you're just going to cut around, and just be careful when you're cutting, take it slowly, and because you've got your round mat that's going to turn with you as you go, you can just turn it and cut. And there we have it. So what happens is that we have them all cut on the same pattern repeat, like that. So when we're gluing, I'll just take one of these up here. Pop your paper onto your fabric, take your glue pen, and make sure your glue pen's up a little bit. Don't try and glue it right down there, because then you're using the flat and it's way too much glue. Make sure it's always rolled up a little bit so you've got some glue sticking out the end. Work with the edge of your glue stick, not the flat side. And you're going to run around and keep the glue away from the edge of the paper. Now, keep your shape down on your hard surface. Don't be tempted to pick it up in your fingers. Just keep it down flat and drag it in, and be assertive when you're dragging it over, because you want to pull all those points in around the curve here. You don't want all little points sticking around that edge there. Pull it in so it's nice and tight, and then you end up with a really smooth curved edge there with no little points or things sticking out everywhere. So that way we have these, and they're fussy cut in here, so when it goes around we're going to see that another pattern evolve when we sew those together. So when sewing them together, I'll just take a needle and thread here. Okay, so we're putting our right sides together. Now, just about 1/2 inch along from the very point, I run my needle into the seam allowance and lose my knot in there, and then I'm going to stitch. Take one stitch there. Make sure you get both sides, and then I'm going to come in for a 2nd stitch, and I'll do my knicker knot. So you can find this knicker knot on one of my other YouTube videos. So it's the thread at the front comes under, take it to the left, the 2 from the needle come forward and under, take it to the right, and that will lock your stitch off there. And then you're just going to sew down to the point. Stitches are about 1/16 of an inch apart. Make sure you're grabbing about 2 threads either side. Don't just grab one thread because then it pulls the thread out of the fabric, and when you open your seam up you'll be able to see through it. Stitch all the way down to the point. When you get to the very point, I do 2 stitches right there, at the very, very point of that. Okay? And there you have half of it. And then I would sew another one that looks exactly like that, and then I would put them together and sew through the middle. And that way you've got your little clover shapes. And see, they're joined just from about there. So they're actually, I'll just pull these over here and show you. So they're actually going to look like that. So they're all joined up. And then you just applique them down onto a background. So they're all joined up into the middle, as opposed to being all separate like that, and then you're trying to line them all up and make them all neat, and the distance from here to here is the same as the distance from here to here. If you've got them all joined up like they were designed to do, then you don't have a problem with that, and it looks like that. So that's your Sue Cody Clover shapes, available in 3 sizes. Now just you can go to your favourite store and ask for those shapes, or they're available from Patchwork with Busy Fingers. I hope you enjoy them, and come back and join me next time.